All right, we're back. Super Bowl time. Hunter, I don't know about you, but the NFL playoffs this year, I think they're really going to be competitive. They seem a lot closer than in recent years. What are your thoughts on this year's bracket?
I like the bracket. Good matchups. These matchups, they hard now. Some of these teams played each other already, but I think this is going to be a good one.
Yeah, for example, New England and Buffalo. We'll talk about that game in a minute. This will be the third time they're matching up. The first matchup I want to talk about is the Raiders and the Bengals here in Cincinnati. They kick things off. A resilient Raiders team. But since December, they've only scored 18.6 points per game. That's pretty dreadful. Can Derek Carr lead them to a victory here on the road and continue to be resilient like they have the last month or two?
Derek Carr went crazy last game. He didn't go crazy. He was all right. Can the Raiders continue the hot streak and beat the Bengals? The Bengals, super red hot these, past weeks. Especially with Chase going crazy, Joe Mixon getting it done on the ground, the defense stepping up. The Raiders can win. Will they win? I have to say no on that.
Yeah, I think Cincinnati, these guys are must-see TV with Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase, all the receivers they have. Darian Philon is hurt. He's not going to play in this game. So the interior is going to be a little watered down for the Raiders. So Joe Mixon should have some success on the inside. I think they're going to throw it all over the place. The Raiders' secondary was not very good last week against the Chargers, especially in the fourth quarter. What were they like? They had converted 6 fourth downs in a row. The Chargers did, all through the air, of course. And then I think 1 or 2 was on fourth down or by penalty. I think 2 matchups to watch in this game, though. Mike Hilton versus Hunter Renfrow in the slot. He's almost unguardable, it seems, with how slippery he is. Then Isaiah Prince versus Max Crosby, who's an Energizer bunny. Do you think that pass rush is going to be able to rattle Joe Burrow enough, who's had 1,000 yards over his last 2 games? Or do you think it's going to be a field day for Burrow and the Bengals?
See, I don't, at the beginning of the season, the Bengals O-line, they were all right, but, still had a few mishaps. I mean, they've gotten better, over the course of the entire season. But I think with Max Crosby, Yannick Ngakoue, them just coming off the edge, not having that, super good left tackle and super good right tackle to defend when they run stunts. If they slant, anything like that, or even if they bring pressure.
I think those 2 pass rushers could single-handedly dictate how this game goes for the Raiders. But on the other side, Trey Hendrickson's had a phenomenal year as well. 14 sacks for him. A lot of young guys on the defense have stepped up. Logan Wilson, Jermaine Pratt. I think this defense they've been pretty good at not giving up a lot of points. And the Raider defense, they give up more points a game than they score. So despite the record being good and them getting here, they did get absolutely hammered by the Chiefs offense twice. And, going on the road here, it's going to be a big test. I'm going to take the Bengals. Is that your official prediction as well?
Yeah, I got the Bengals in not fully a shutout, but maybe 17-point plus. It's probably going to be a high-scoring game for the Bengals. I would say 38-17.
Yeah, I don't really have a score. I didn't want to think about it that much, but I think that's a pretty bold score. I could definitely see it happen with how sluggish this defense is. But the Raiders, again, resilient as they come. Moving to the next game right after that, New England, Buffalo meet for the third time. New England, they have the top scoring defense. And for all week long, I was thinking I was going to pick the Patriots in this. But it would be tragic if Mac Jones outdueled Josh Allen in Buffalo. He hasn't played well at all against the Bills this year. He only threw it 2 times the first matchup, and then the second matchup a few weeks ago at home. 2 picks, 130 yards. He wasn't great. Are you going to take the Bills in this matchup? Or you like the Patriots to kind of produce what I would say would be an upset, considering the difference at quarterback?
Yeah. Are they playing in Buffalo?
Yes, they are. And the road team has won both matchups in this series so far. So New England, they've already won in Buffalo once this year. Of course, it was a windstorm, so they dominated on the ground. Damian Harris has been very big in both of these meetings, though. So that's something to take into account.
Yeah, definitely. I just feel like this. I just feel like Josh Allen. They've been talking about it all week. The snow game, the no pass attempts. That's just been running through everybody's head. It's what Sean McDermott and the coaching staff probably been preaching to them all week. But New England, if they play right, if they play smart, yes, they're gonna get it done. But I just think the Bills are gonna be ready, and I think it's gonna be a close matchup all 4 quarters.
Yeah, I think their defense, they have that chip on their shoulder. They're still pretty upset about the reporters asking them those questions about not being able to stop the run game. They were obviously very humiliated. I think Micah Hyde, Jordan Poyer specifically will step up here. I think they're going to play with some pride. I do think it will be a close game, like you said. Keep an eye on the injury report, though. Kyle Duggar, Adrian Phillips, they're both questionable at safety. I would anticipate them to play. I don't know what's going on with them, but it is something to monitor. But Jones in Buffalo, it's going to be too hard to deliver with how he's played this year against them. Both teams, though, ranked second and third in interceptions, so I do think whoever forces the more turnovers will definitely win this game. But I'm going to slide Buffalo in a complete 4-quarter game, like you said as well.
Yeah, I mean, and this could probably even be a low-scoring game with New England's defense and the high-powered build offense.
17-13 type game, something like that.
Yeah, I was about to say, I got a over/under. I would say 40 in this.
Under 40, that'd be a pretty good bet. I'm not sure what the line is set at, but that'd be something I could bank on too. The last game in the AFC in the wild card round, not really to discuss here. Kansas City just beat Pittsburgh 36-10. They scored on 5 straight drives in the first half. The Pitt run defense is terrible. They're going to have to bring the safeties down a bit to get some help versus some talented running backs. And the defense, they're going to get gashed over top against these athletes in space. And underneath, I think they'll struggle as well. So can we just get on with this one, or do you think Pittsburgh can hold up a chance in Big Ben's retirement party?
Yeah, I mean, I think everybody knows what happened, when the Steelers and the Chiefs. I wish, the Steelers would have ended Big Ben's career, not in the playoffs like this. But, the Chiefs, mad good right now. Tyreek Hill is, I believe he's got like a lingering injury. But I just think the Chiefs get it done, and I don't think the Steelers show up.
Yeah, I do think they're not going to be able to hold Chris Jones on the interior, but if they can block well and run pretty good, I do think the receivers have an edge against the secondary, Deontay Johnson and Chase Claypool, but I do think this is going to be not 36-10, more like, 34-14. I think Pittsburgh will show up much better than they did the first time a few weeks ago in the first half. But, yeah, Kansas City should take care of business with ease here, and they will advance. Continuing, the AFC, does the Tennessee Titans, everyone's picking them to lose in the first round, including me. Do you see the Titans advancing past the divisional, or are they just, kind of a rundown number 1 seed who had a good run of success, and that's how they earned it?
No, Kansas City does win. They sit at the number 2, so they wouldn't have to face Tennessee unless it's in the AFC Championship.
With our predictions, they're going to face Buffalo or Cincy or potentially New England. So, or the Raiders. They'll face one of those 4 teams, but I don't think they're going to beat Cincy. I don't think they're going to beat Buffalo or New England. Their run defense is great, but their secondary isn't.
Yeah.
Harold Landry's been really good as a pass rusher, but I think they'd be a pretty bad matchup for any of these teams. But they're getting Derrick Henry back and A.J. Brown, so they're getting healthier. But I see Tennessee losing in the divisional regardless of opponent. Do you think they'll advance, or?
I wouldn't. If they ended up having to face the Bills, I would say that'd be a good one, but I think Buffalo would probably beat them. I think they could beat the Raiders, honestly. Great pass rushers, but, with an O-line like that and Derrick Henry potentially coming back, the Raiders D-line would have to step it up, definitely.
Yeah, Buffalo and Tennessee played earlier in the year in that Monday night thriller. They got absolutely gashed in the secondary. They won on a last second, what was it, a 4th down or goal line stop or something. A game Buffalo should have won. Their defense got brutalized, but I think they'll be better, much better, if they were to face off here again. But I'm going to ask you who you got advancing to the AFC Championship game. because the divisional matchups are just hypothetical, of course, so let's not waste too much time on them.
Yeah.
But I do think that the Bengals Chiefs will square off for the conference title, and I see Joe Burrow and the Bengals advancing to the Super Bowl. A little bold prediction because the Chiefs are easily the favorite in the conference right now, especially with how they've been playing as of late. But they did just get torched by Jamar Chase in that passing group. They would have to go on the road to do it this time, and beating Andy Reid a second time seems like an impossible task. But I do think that they have the energy, the moxie to beat Kansas City and advance to the Super Bowl to represent the AFC. Who do you have in Super Bowl representing this side of the conference?
If the Bills, play like they did, and the big wins they had, it could probably be the Bills and the Chiefs again. Definitely a matchup that, the Bills would be the underdog and they'd have that chip on their shoulder. Just carry what happened, how the season ended. Just carry that, into the wild card and then divisional. And, I could potentially see the Bills going to the Super Bowl.
So that's your pick officially is the Bills?
The Bills and the Chiefs square off, and then the Bills.
They would be in the divisional actually, so they wouldn't meet. They'd meet next week. They wouldn't meet in the conference title. They would meet in the divisional, but you're still going to go with Buffalo regardless of what week it is.
Oh yeah, apologies about that.
So you have the Bills. I have the Bengals. I think we have some great matchups here on the AFC side. It should be interesting to see how things play out, especially since KC is not the number 1 seed. Switching to the NFC, Tampa Bay, they face off with Philadelphia. Now, I do think the Eagles possess a nice, interesting threat here because they are number 1 ranked rushing offense in the NFL. It's Jalen Hurts. Really, he does a lot of it, though. Miles Sanders is back healthy. But they're facing the 3rd best run defense. These guys are lights out. Most teams don't even try to run the ball against Tampa Bay. So basically what I think is going to happen here, just to keep it quick and short, is they're going to be one-dimensional. The veteran offensive line, the interesting game. Sanders back, again, helps. But I think Devin White's probably going to spy Jalen Hurts most of the game. He's got the speed and athleticism to track him down. The secondary matches up pretty well with this depleted Bucs receiving group, but they've been terrible against tight ends. Gronk's going to expose that, free things up a bit for some of the other guys like Tyler Johnson, Kyle Grayson, and again, Tom Brady here in a wild card. I don't see him losing at home, especially to the Eagles, even though they do possess an interesting matchup for them. How do you see this one going?
Yeah, like you said, they're definitely, if the Bucs come out stomping the defense, and they want to run the ball and it doesn't work, the Bucs pass rush is still lethal. Their secondary is still lethal. Devin White and Levante David at that middle linebacker position, they're lethal. The entire defense will lock Philly up if they just have to go pass. They stop the run. Miles Sanders isn't getting anything done. Jalen Hurts is getting a spy, and they just go straight to passing. It's a good matchup between Philly's weapons that they have, the fast, the physical. But then you have the Bucs with, a strong secondary. Sean Murphy-Bunting, is not afraid to press. Jamal Dean is not afraid to press. Ross Crocco is not afraid to press. And they got a good secondary. I do believe the Bucs are probably going to blow the Eagles out.
Sean Murphy-Bunting, hasn't he been injured this year?
Yeah, he had a shoulder injury.
Oh, yeah, and then he just came back, didn't he?
Yeah.
Okay. I was unaware of that, but yeah, we both have the Bucs advancing. The Monday night game, Arizona and Los Angeles, should be a fun matchup. They both split the series earlier in the year. Another team that's another kind of like New England and Buffalo. These are the 3rd time these teams will be meeting. I like the Rams to get the one done here, but I think Kyler Murray and the Cardinals, they're great. They're like 8-1 on the road. For some reason, they can't win at home. If they get it done on the road, they go to L.A. here. The Rams don't really have any fans, so I don't know. I think they last week against Seattle, though, they had a fury of big plays against them. Rashad Penny did, Tyler Lockett. They could not slow them down at all. The Rams have that potential. Their defense was humiliated last week against San Francisco. Not having DeAndre Hopkins, that's a big lack of playmaking when you're facing Jalen Ramsey and this great defense. I think LA is going to get the job done here. Stafford's going to bounce back. So the defense. Too much offense here, I think, for LA. I think they'll beat Arizona, but Kyler Murray's great. And Arizona has a good pass rush too, but I do think too many weapons for LA. They should win this one on Monday night.
I don't. Yeah, without your star receiver, going against best corner in the league, trying to keep him isolated. But without your top receiver, it's kind of hard to commit to the pass when the pass rush is lethal, the zone coverage is lethal, and then trying to they want to try to run the ball. I mean, good. LA's defense is going to be on it. I mean, you can't really try to stay one thing the entire game. You got to mix it up against the Rams defense. But I think the Cardinals can still get it done now in a close one.
You think you're picking Arizona in this one?
Yeah, I'm gonna pick Arizona over the Rams.
Yeah, I think it's really a toss-up, but these guys, it's hard to imagine them losing with all the resources they've committed to winning playoff games. If they were to go out there and get first rounded, that'd just be humiliating for Sean McVay and crew. The final NFC wildcard game of the weekend, San Francisco and Dallas. This is a great game. This is probably going to be the best game of the weekend. I think San Francisco, they're going to play with a chip on their shoulder. They're probably the most dangerous team out of all the underdogs in the playoffs. It's one of the NFL's best sack defenses. Nick Bosa's been having a great year. Great bounce back from him. Tyron Smith should be back, though, so this offensive line, when healthy, I think they're going to have the edge in this one. Cowboys pass catchers, I also think they have a giant edge individually. The 49ers are going to have to play a lot of zone. Man coverage, I don't think they can hold any of these guys, especially Josh Norman, who's still a starter, I'm pretty sure. Dallas, they also, on defense, they lead the NFL with 26 picks. Micah Parsons is having a phenomenal year. All around, I think the Cowboys are going to – it's going to be a close game, but I think they're going to be the better team. I think they are the better team, and I think they'll win this one here. Are you on that trendy upset pick of taking San Francisco, or you like Dallas to advance?
I was, but then the tight game with the Rams last week kind of changed my edge to go with Dallas. I know the Rams got a good defense. I just believe that the Dallas offense is going to score a lot more points than the Rams probably will. So just giving up that big a number, to Matt Stafford, Cooper Kupp, and Odell, I think the Cowboys probably get this one in a 14 to 20 point W.
Yeah, 450 yards last week against LA. They were great on offense. Jimmy G played out of his mind. If he does that again and they have the same amount of balance on offense, they're probably going to win. But that was also pretty much a home game for them, the way the France traveled. It won't be that way in Dallas, and Jimmy G's not shown consistency enough to play like that in back-to-back weeks, even if it's on the line. I think Dak will have time with that aforementioned great offensive line. I think their defense, they're going to make a lot of plays. They're the second-best third-down defense. They're going to give Jimmy G a bit of a headache. LA, they couldn't get off on third down. This team can. That was a big reason why that 49er offense had so much success. So I'm going to take Dallas as well. One thing to watch, though, Jayon Kearse at safety is not expected to play. That could be big. Down the seam, Deebo Samuel is explosive as they come. So have to watch communication if they do have Donovan Wilson start at safety in this ball game. Looking at the number one seed in the NFC, the Green Bay Packers. Is this the year they finally get it done? It seems like ever since they won the Super Bowl, they've been one of the favorites every single year, and they just can never seem to get back to the big dance. Is this the year they finally do it, or do the Packers blow it yet again?
Hey, let's hope they don't blow it, man. Go Pack, go, man. Dawn knows I'm a Packers fan. Oh man, this would mean a lot. If we could get it done, like you said, the years in the past after we won a Super Bowl, we've been favored a lot, and then we just couldn't get it done. Last year,
what will it take for Green Bay to win it this year compared to the other seasons?
I think just a full commitment. I don't know what happened last year. When the Bucks scored 14 in like 5 minutes at the end of the second. I mean, without us having a lockdown defense, I don't think there's a chance we can win the game. So I want to say yes, but if our defense isn't on lockdown, so Aaron can get on the field a lot, I don't believe so.
I do think Zadarius Smith is on his way back, or he's already played. Is that correct? Am I seeing that correct?
Yeah, Zadarius Smith just practiced today.
Okay, yep. So he's back, but so is Levante David and Leonard Fournette for the Bucks. Are we both in agreement with the Bucks Packers rematch in the NFC title game?
Yeah, I really don't see anybody, besides Green Bay and the Bucks in the NFC Championship.
Yeah, I do think. I think the NFC's crowded it's as crowded as it comes. I think. Any of these teams other than the Eagles can probably win the Super Bowl. So I wouldn't be shocked with any of the results. But I do think the Packers should be able to get the job done, and Tom Brady playing at home for the next 2 games will as well. I do think that Aaron Rodgers will get the edge this time. And there's not much analysis you can really give. It's these 2 great quarterbacks. I think Aaron Rodgers is just going to outduel him this time. Would you agree with that? Or do you think there's a little bit more to it that we should add to the NFC title game, potentially?
I'd love to agree with you, but it's still 50-50. The Bucks lost Chris Godwin,
AD's out too,
to an awful ACL. But Chris Godwin made plays against us, but we were getting killed by Mike Evans on a jump ball, Scotty Miller with just a deep route, Kevin King not showing up. But
Rasul Douglas has been amazing for them since they added him. So they are a little bit more sturdy at corner this year. Jair Alexander, I believe, is also back. I think he's played the last few games, I believe, has he not? If not, he's, I think, healthy enough to get to go here in the postseason.
Yeah, Jair, Rasul, Eric Stokes, Chandon Sullivan. It's a good group. Darnell Savage, Adrian Amos is playing amazing. I think our linebackers are amazing. Jair hasn't played yet. He's practicing. I think he practiced today too. But with us getting Jair, Zadarius Smith, David Bakhtiari back, Whitney Merciless, and then Randall Cobb's supposed to be back in the NFC Championship if we do end up making it.
All right, with that being said, my Super Bowl predictions, the Packers versus the Bengals. Cincy, the way I think they get there is they're going to slow down the run against Tennessee with DJ Reader, Larry Obajabi, the interior defensive line. I think they'll show up pretty well. And then against Kansas City, I think they can play cover 2. Their secondary, they held up very well against the run. They gave up a few big plays on the run a few weeks ago. They held up very well against the pass. I think they'll be physical at the line, play some cover 2. That seems to be a pretty good formula for beating them. Be physical, play cover 2 with some safeties. You got to slow down the run, though. I think the Cincinnati can do that. I think they'll go on the run, go on the road. That is, play with a lot of energy. I think they'll get to the Super Bowl in Green Bay. I think Aaron Rodgers is just playing with a chip on his shoulder. I think he'll outdo everybody. And I think the defense, they'll show up just enough for them to, give this offense the ability to do some damage. I have the Packers versus the Bengals in the Super Bowl. We won't give any analysis because it's hypothetical, of course, but I'll take Green Bay over anybody in this year's playoff bracket. Do you agree with that? You got the Packers. I know as a fan, that's the way you're leaning, but you're also a little hesitant. I think you have Packers Bills, correct?
Yeah, that'd be a good matchup.
That'd be a great matchup. Yes.
Both good offenses, both good defenses. I see. In the NFC, it can only be us or the Bucks. I don't see anybody else potentially making it.
Right.
We could get it done if we do face the Bills, probably in a low-scoring, high-intensity matchup.
Yeah, that'd be a great game. I do think the NFC is more wide open than you're thinking it is, but I agree. There's no way that Tampa or Green Bay doesn't make it. If they don't, that's pretty wild, even though there's a lot of good teams in that conference. We both have the Packers. I think so does the rest of the world. Everybody, all the predictions I've seen is Green Bay on top. So, of course, that means they probably won't win the Super Bowl, but that's what we're sticking with. Have any last thoughts you'd like to offer before we wrap this up?
Yeah, don't forget, Saturday, Sunday, Monday this week. We got a game on Monday. So make sure you stay up before you go to school and make sure you watch it.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of the new playoffs in the NFL. Now we have, 6 total wildcard games and the 1 seed. There's only 1 bye week. I love that. Kudos to the NFL, whoever it was, Goodell or whatever, one of his guys put that together. Whoever did that, they deserve all the credit. Great job. I think it'll be fun with all these wildcard games. So that's it. Appreciate you joining me, Hunter. This was fun. We'll have to do it again. Very excited for the playoffs.
Hey, man, thank you for having me. It's always a blessing, brother.
Yes, sir. Appreciate you, my man. That'll be it for today. Everyone like, subscribe, comment who you've got winning Super Bowl if you made it this far. See you next time.